Hey guys, it's Jessica from Rantastic. Welcome back. I thought I would do another ghost story with you today. This story is about Annie. Now, again, this story takes place, just around 20 years ago. Annie was a family friend. To be more specific, Annie was the daughter of my mother's best friend. Annie was a beautiful young lady, long blonde hair, gorgeous blue eyes. She had recently been married and had a little boy. She graduated from college, she was really successful, and worked in the mortgage industry. And they were just really building their life together. And then she started to get these really intense migraines. And she went from doctor to doctor and finally got some tests done and found out she had an inoperable brain tumor. By the time we found out about the brain tumor, she had about 3 months left to live. And she wanted so bad to get through Christmas to be able to see her son have his first Christmas. And she did, actually. She made it through Christmas to see her son. But in this 3 months leading up to Christmas, she pretty much lost her ability to do everything. She was really like a baby by the time she passed. She was having to wear adult diapers. She couldn't feed herself or bathe herself anymore. She couldn't hold her son. And by December, she really couldn't talk or anything. And it was really hard to see her like that. And everybody really took it hard. But thankfully, she was able to get through Christmas and see her son through Christmas, and then she passed Christmas night. Now, everybody really took this pretty hard, including myself, and I really didn't know her that well. But she was a sweetheart and just a couple years older than me. And I took it really hard because I felt like she was so young and she had so much going for her. She was really successful, had this amazing husband and this beautiful little boy, and she was really going places and she was helping people. She would have given anything to anybody to help people. And here I am, haven't finished college. I have a little girl, about 2 years old, and living at my mom's house, and I just felt like it wasn't fair. And I was so angry with God, and I just didn't understand how God could take somebody like her yet leave somebody like me. And I remember one night, before her funeral, I remember going outside and looking up in the sky, and I'm just screaming and I'm so mad and I'm crying, and I remember begging God to please let us switch places. Take me instead of her. It's not fair. She's a better person than me. I'm going nowhere. I have nothing in my life other than my daughter, and my daughter deserves better than me. And I just remembered just screaming and crying. And that night I was laying in bed and I just was crying hysterically, and my daughter was in her room trying to sleep, and I was just tossing and turning, all these thoughts going in my mind. Let me take her place. And I we lived in the basement at the time of my mom's house, and in the stairwell the stair light comes on, and I heard my name being called, and she just kept saying, Jessica, Jessica, come here, Jessica, come here. And I remember sitting there thinking, this was my sister. What the heck does she want? I'm trying to sleep. She just kept calling my name, and I would scream to her, leave me alone, I'm trying to sleep. And it would go quiet for a little bit. I'd roll over, and she'd start calling my name again. Jessica, come here. Jessica, come here. So finally, I'm all mad, and I'm walking up the stairs, and there was nobody there. And I walked up in the kitchen, walked around the house, went to my sister's room, and my sister wasn't there. In fact, there's nobody home except for me and my daughter. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I must be hearing things. But somebody was calling my name, and it just puzzled me. So I'm coming down the stairs, really confused, and my little girl comes out of her bedroom, and she takes me by the hand, and she says it's going to be okay. And I didn't know what she was talking about. And I went and tucked her back in bed, and she tells me the girl in white came to see her. And mind you, she's 2, so I didn't know what she was talking about. She said that this girl in white, and she was really bright, and made her room be really bright at night, comes to see her every once in a while. And she told me that she sat next to her bed and told her to tell her mom that everything is going to be okay. And I thought this was really weird. My daughter never really got a chance to know Annie, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, but it was interesting that this spirit of Annie woke her up and told her to tell mom that everything's going to be okay. And I did feel a little bit of relief after hearing that. Now, a day or two later was Annie's funeral, and we went to go pick up my grandmother. My mom, my grandmother, and my daughter and I were going to go to this funeral. And my grandma was really upset because she could not find her favorite scarf, and we couldn't go without the scarf. And we were tearing apart her house to look for this scarf, and we just cannot find this scarf. And then a part of the room lit up. Now, my grandma had one of those little porcelain Christmas trees that have the lights that are stuck in there, and you plug it into the wall and it lights up. And my grandma had had it for many, many years, and it hadn't worked. It wasn't plugged in. She just used it for decoration around Christmas time, and as little kids, we just used to love this thing. So she just takes it out every year and puts it out. Well, on this day, we're frantically looking for the scarf, can't find the scarf to go to this funeral, and this Christmas tree lights up. And we all kind of stopped and looked around, and we even checked to make sure that the tree was even plugged in, because it hadn't worked forever. And when we looked behind there, it was not even plugged into the wall, but the lights were lit up. So at this point, we're thinking, okay, something's going on. Maybe Annie's trying to give us a message, you know. And so we decided, okay, well, let's just go. We're going to go to the funeral. When we go outside to go down the steps of my grandmother's house, on the railing, tied in like a little bow, was my grandmother's scarf. Now, it wasn't there when we went in. There was nothing on the railing other than a little bit of snow, because it's Christmas time in Minnesota. So we were just in shock. And since that happened, I have not seen Annie again, but I do know that my daughter at the time told me that she came to her room a couple times after that. So I don't know when she stopped visiting my daughter. She mentioned it just maybe 2 or 3 times after the funeral that she saw her in her room, but I don't know. I don't know if she continued to see her, or if she was just remembering the time before the funeral. But in either case, I haven't heard from or seen Annie since. But I really believe that ghosts and spirits are brought into our lives for certain reasons, and sometimes it can be as simple as to get you out of the thinking that you're in. I was really depressed, and I just felt like if I can just disappear, maybe she can come back. And I think that was Annie's way of telling me that it's okay, that this is what's supposed to happen, and there's a bigger, brighter life for me ahead. And that's how I felt, and that's how I still feel today. So I'm really thankful I had that experience and didn't act on anything that I was thinking. Um, and I'm just thankful. So I hope you enjoyed my Annie story, and if you did, go ahead and like this video and hit subscribe, and I will subscribe back. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye.